My Hero Academia, I cannot say I like a single character. Like there really isn't. I mean, I medium for all of them. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Just like
yeah,
medium for all of them, bro. Because this is like I'll watch it. I like it. I
yeah,
love the concept. I love the idea. It's like takes me back to my childhood, man. Watching like X-Men cross with
yeah,
like a little bit of like cyber, like in the future type of X-Men. I don't know if you remember in the 90s, man. It's the X-Men episode where Wolverine travels back in time, and he goes to Bishop, and
yeah,
like all in the cyber future type. You
yeah,
know, that's the way. That's the way this makes me feel. You know, like it's that kind of future type. You know, so but yeah, My Hero, segue into it. That's a great time, you know. My Hero, it ended, last week. It ended, so the season 7 is coming up. So, in My Hero, I do like My Hero. I like everything is about My Hero, man. I think it's an awesome anime, fun. We haven't seen one like that in a long time, and it kind of like boggles your mind. Like that should be a pretty normal thing in the anime world, you know, like mutant powers and stuff like that. But I guess they
yeah,
were like trying not to copy Marvel's X Men, you know, because I mean, this is just what Japanese Marvel X Men, you know, mutants, you know. So it's just that, you know.
yeah, yeah.
We're
It's
just
pretty
watching
much.
a new, we're just watching a new invention of it, you know, with a little kinder spirits, you know.
Yeah,
But we really don't talk My Hero Academia. I know you watch it, but you're like, we really don't talk it.
yeah.
But to flip it, who do you agree more? Do you are you like see, I agree more with uh and you know I'm horrible with names.
Yeah.
But
Was it the League of Villains or
League of Villains.
yeah,
I agree more with the League of Villains versus like even like All for One or One for All. Like I really don't agree with him, you know,
yeah,
because it's like kind of like dumb. It's very cliche kind of guy, right? But like League of Villains, like he's making a solid point. You
yeah,
know, he's like you're not making a space, and I'm not that kind of person, but like in the sense that he's like you're not making a space for all the scattered people that have mutant powers that some we can't control, some are like out of whack. So you know, like he's like the Magneto type.
yeah,
And I always love Magneto in
yeah,
the X-Men. Wolverine number one because we're the same height. but Magneto definitely, you know, he's like the Magneto type. You know, he's just like, hey man, I don't agree. Like, let mutants be free. You know, and you're not doing that. You know, you're only taking and accepting the mutants that you want. So that's my kind of thing. I like the League of Villains over like the academy and the whole federation. You know, maybe because I don't like big government, but
yeah,
that's a little throw it in there.
yeah. Like for me, my favorite character is Dobby. So
Fire guy.
it's just I just like him.
Everybody
Like
likes Tommy,
yeah,
man.
I like his story of like what he went through, what he's doing, and like you
Also,
know,
are you caught up with season 6
yeah,
all
I'm
the way?
caught up completely. Yeah, I've watched.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Him being part of Endeavor's family line
Yeah,
kind of like cheapened everything, man.
I
For me,
did. I
I
I
didn't like
felt
it.
I did say though I felt in the manga like he was more of like I'm gonna make everybody hate you, whereas like in the anime it kind of made it like everybody's gonna hate you, but you're still a hero, so we're gonna love you. It was kind of, and I don't know if I read it differently because it's animated now, but
Uh-huh.
it just felt to me like I was like ugh, like. But I like the stories behind the league, like twice, like how what he went through, how he got betrayed. You know, Spinner being, of course, you know,
No. So with Twice, he had to be betrayed,
yeah.
and quite frankly, I don't know. I Twice was alright to me. I was like, and I
I
give
just
it.
like him as like he's. I just like him talking to himself. That was it. It reminds me of like the mask, I guess.
Oh, the mask.
Yeah,
Oh, Jim Carrey.
yeah. That's what it
um,
reminded me of. But
no. Because like, if you go, dude, this is shot by shot uh plot by plot X-Men
It is
because Twice, you know who Twice is, right?
Mimic. Yeah.
Mimic? No, he's not
Oh.
Mimic. He's Morph.
Oh, Morph. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah.
He's Morph, man.
Yeah.
That's straight up Morph, dude.
Yeah.
Like I was like, when I was watching him, like, what is Morph doing in there? You know, like he even almost had the same storyline as Morph, man.
Dobby's Pyro. I mean, it's pretty much
like, yeah, man. Like, you know, this is it's almost a shot for X-Men, man. If no one ever made those references, like, I'm sorry, you're not really watching. You're not a fan of animation, or I guess you haven't gone back that far as I have.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was. I think growing up with X-Men and Marvel and all that, that's what kind of, like you said, it brings you back to that childhood part. When it ended, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the episode yet, but seeing the other heroes, I guess, come from like the other countries and everything, that was kind of cool.
Oh yeah, like because you kind of thought Japan, well, Neo Japan, right?
Yeah,
like was the only real country out there. You know, that's what they made it feel like in the first 5 seasons. Like you didn't even hear about like, oh, in America their heroes are like this, or oh, they're because he made it feel like it was isolated in Japan only.
Yeah.
You know, but then it turns out like, you know, the US has their heroes as well. Like, first of all, how is All Might number one? Like, we're US of A. You know damn well we have a hero that champions over everybody in the world, right? Like, we're the American Empire, bro. Like, I was like, what? Like, what? When you said that, man, like, I was like, what? Like, wait, All Might is supposed to be the number one hero of everybody. I guess in Japan only. So, you know, but yeah, no, but like I said, my hero, I think in the end, I think it ended really, man. I love that they're putting Deku through that sort of ridiculous, so stupid ending portion. Like, okay, spoilers if you have not seen it, please. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so putting that whole, they have an internal signal, knowing exactly where he is at all times, and he has to be on the move all the time, is the most stupidest thing I had ever came across in like a warrior arc. That is the most dumbest thing in the world. I don't know how you feel towards it, but towards me, man, I was just like, that is stupid, man. I was like, how does that even make sense? Like now he has to be constantly on the move, and like he was like, he took it upon himself, like, oh, I'm just gonna, like, dude, it's like that don't even make sense.
I felt that was like filler. Like they just did it to add fluff, and
well, no, they did it to nerf him.
Oh yeah,
because I mean, remember, like, he needs a driving point of where he goes in, like when he goes into his internal self, right? Yeah. And he has to gain the other 6 powers, right? They literally had to nerf him in a way, like it's the same thing like when they made man, let me get his name real quick. And I know I'm gonna see it in Tomura. So as soon as they see Tomura, they had to give Tomura, because I mean, All Might would have destroyed him, right? And whenever he did his Detroit Punch on Tomura, like that didn't destroy him. Like that like kind of stuff doesn't make sense because they needed a story driven forward, and I didn't like that at all, man. I was like that when and it ended. I was just like, that is the stupidest thing in the world, man.
It's like when Superman got too strong, and then they started to make kryptonite. It is like,
or lead, like,
lead.
They literally, there was nothing, bro. Like the writers, the original writers for Dick Comics, they were like, oh, we had to give him something, right? And the biggest thing at the time was like nuclear weapons. Like the only way you could shield yourself from radiation was lead. and that's the only thing they could think of. Loves lead. It's like, oh my god, it's like the Green Lantern and his weakness being wood. Like what? Like the man could get knocked out with a piece of wood? Like, like this doesn't even make sense, bro. Like okay, all right. Ran over. Overall, My Hero Academia season 6. What would you give that score?
I'll give it a 4.
4 for
4
season
point.
6.
No, I'll give it a 4.5.
All right.
I'll give it a 4.5. I'm trying to think.
Season 5.
Yeah,
was
season
like a 3.
Well, I had to separate the seasons in my head because I mean it's 6. And I'm like, okay, where did it end? Where did it start?
Yeah.
And I think with all the war and the destruction, that was where I was like, yeah, okay, this is.
Yeah, and that whole chasing her and like that whole that was dumb. Season 5 was one of those trash seasons in your anime where like you can basically skip over it, nobody cares. But like season 6, I think really redeemed itself, And then I'm taking it like once again, I don't read the manga on that one, but like I take it it's gonna be like season 7 is gonna be rocking real hard.
I think it's the final season, right?
No. I think they're going to 10.
10? Okay, well, good.
10
it gives
for
me,
sure. Yeah.
3 more.
Yeah, I think it's 10 for sure, but I think after that, I think it ends because I think it's still currently going.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure on it. I haven't really been reading the mangas. I've been trying to.
Yeah, it's still continuing.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah, it's still continued. There's 37 volumes, and so it's still going good. Yeah, I think they got up to like season 10 for sure, and then maybe I think it's like crescendoing to an end. Like, I think they're like this final arc. I think that's what you heard. I think that's what it was. The final arc is being published.
Okay.
Doing the final arc.
Yeah. That's what it.
Yeah, but it's like I think it's gonna be like that type of thing, like One Piece. I have speculation. I don't think we're listening to Deku. I think we're listening to somebody else, and that inherit the power of All for One, right? Yeah. So we're hearing somebody else because remember, like it makes sense because like Deku's able to hear all those other stories, right? All those other people. So I think it's that kind of situation. That's why he has such detail, but he has an outside detail. And he has knowledge about stuff that she shouldn't have knowledge about, right? He's like, even if he had like, like, oh man, I'm listening to this, right? Or like I read this in a report, right? He has outside knowledge, other knowledge that he shouldn't have. But that's just my theory, right? But back to what I was saying. But with that being said, I think it's the final arc being written that is that's happening right now. So I think it's going to be like a One Piece situation where it's just the beginning, and we're going to get more stories out of My Hero Academia. Yeah. So hopefully. So with that being said, I have to agree. 4.5 was where I was leaving season 6 for My Hero Academia because it was like that. I enjoyed just about every episode. Kind of slow in the beginning, but it picked up really fast and it didn't stop. So that was really fun. So no more training arcs. God damn. Like, dude, put it in the montage, man.
Yeah, I don't want to see those ever again.